A very good morning to you, friends, delegates, ladies and gentlemen, and a warm welcome to the Direct Selling Association of South Africa, the DSA Bouncing Forward Convention. This year, we celebrate 50 years of developing empowerment. That's half a century of supporting companies that provide opportunities for people to change their lives positively. We get the convention ball rolling with our DSA chairperson, who, since receiving his diploma in business management, has been involved in business, starting in the retail environment before moving to Amway. His belief in the vision of the company and the alignment of his personal values with that of the company have seen him develop strategic partnerships both internally and externally, which has been crucial to the business. A firm belief in doing what's right and not just what works. That is the philosophy with which he guides and leads the team at Amway. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the director of the DSA for over 9 years, our driven to and by excellence chairperson of the DSA of South Africa, Mr. Rajesh Parshotam.
Greetings to all our viewers. Welcome and thank you for joining our third annual virtual conference. By now, you know that the theme of this year's conference is anchored around bouncing forward. As you spend some time and think through this theme for you and your business, it'll mean different things to different people, and this is really informed by your personal circumstances. For some, this may mean recovering from a setback and moving forward. For others, this may well mean accelerating the momentum you enjoy right now. And so as I reflect on this theme, there's two words that come to mind, and that is resilience and growth. These past few years have been particularly challenging for our industry, and I take a moment now to extend my congratulations to each and everyone involved in our industry for demonstrating your resilience. And I will say that we are well positioned to enable our industry and, most importantly, you, our distributors, our direct sellers, to leverage the myriad of opportunities that the market offers, especially as we think of consumer needs. We are truly set up for growth, and the market has never been closer to our industry. It's fundamentally important for us to understand our vision, a vision that drives each and every activity, each and every conversation at the DSA, and that vision is to be leading ambassadors of the direct selling industry and proactively champion the interest of member companies who passionately create an enabling environment in which lives are positively changed in our country. For myself and the board of directors, this is our why. Let's now take a look at our industry performance for the year 2021. From a global standpoint, we celebrate the fact that there are 128 million direct sellers, and this number has grown since 2020, a clear indicator that more and more people are looking to our industry. Through the efforts of these direct sellers, I'm pleased to share that the global industry recorded over $186 billion in sales. And I strongly believe that this is a remarkable sales result given the many challenges in the global marketplace, from the war to energy crisis through to inflationary pressures all over the world. Closer to home, and probably more relevant to our viewers here, is the local numbers. Before I share those, I want to take a moment to thank all our member companies for completing the survey, because without your effort, we will not be able to report as an industry. The numbers I am about to share are gathered from the companies who are registered member companies with the DSA. It is important to understand that there are companies who operate in the market but are not DSA members, and so their data is excluded from the DSA data. We have 25 member companies for the reporting period of 2021. And I'm pleased to share that through the efforts of all our member companies and their respective distributors, we celebrate an industry sales achievement of 7.8 billion rands. As we compare this to the previous year, we continue to maintain and once again clearly demonstrating our resilience, because many of our companies were unable to bring our distributor communities together in person for events and other activities And despite this barrier, we delivered as a collective. I'm pleased to share that we have close to 650,000 direct sellers. And importantly, these direct sellers earned a total compensation of 2.1 billion rands. And this is no small amount going back to the local economy. We are one of the very few industries that can boast success in the demographics that is aligned to national demographic split. And this is always helpful, especially in our engagement with external stakeholders like government. Closely linked to demographics is our gender split, and this has been stable and consistent over the past few years. The second one is about the younger distributor. You've heard that 62.24% of all our direct sellers are below 45 years old, and so it is with this in mind, we'll prioritize the attractiveness of the direct selling opportunity for entrepreneurship. The next two priorities are important as it relates to legitimacy of our industry. We have much work ahead of us, and whilst we're not where we want to be, I can assure you there has been immense progress, but we're certainly not where we used to be 12 months ago. Last but not least is our partnership with government as a key stakeholder. This is important because as part of our vision, the DSA is about ensuring an enabling environment for our member companies and their distributors. And so as you think about legislation and regulation, the DSA must have a voice. And again, amazing progress in this regard. In addition, and an exciting development for the first time ever in the history of the DSA, we have made significant progress in expanding the conversation with government from lobbying for legislation and regulations to economic development, where we will partner with various levels of government to co-create a plan for economic development in the townships, where people from that township can have access to an income opportunity by owning a business of their own through one of our member companies. Folks, this is a massive development and can't wait for you to hear more about this from our Government Affairs Director, so please do listen. From a public relations standpoint, we clustered into two key areas, one centered around legitimacy of direct selling and the other on income opportunity and entrepreneurship. And so we set out a few key goals in line with our priorities. First, we will continue our focus to boost attractiveness of direct selling as an economic solution. Second, drive the narrative of legitimacy of the DSA and more importantly its member companies by encouraging South Africans to learn more about the DSA and its member companies. By visiting our website, they will find more information and be educated on why companies vetted by DSA are more trustworthy than those who are not. Third is to establish DSA as the go-to for all matters relating to direct selling on traditional channels as well as social media platforms. In addition to what you have up on your screen, we also seek to increase awareness by driving traffic and reach to DSA and its members. Identify potential opportunities for member companies to expand their direct selling database. Allow me to share some of the activities we have undertaken recently. We took a decision to send out media alerts aligned to topical matters affecting consumers and/or the country at that point in time. And through that, received several invitations from media to a conversation on that topic. From a broadcast perspective, you see a nice wide mix of broadcast interviews across different areas of South Africa, different religious groups and languages. Together with Imtiaz and Brandon, our vice chair, we attended to these interviews. If you missed them, they are all posted on our social media platforms. All interviews made reference to the legitimacy of member companies and made mention of the DSA's website and an invitation for the listeners to view our members' pages through the DSA website. Message is clear that if you want a trusted, vetted income as a side hustle, DSA is the place to go. Through all our broadcast efforts and the interviews, we also saw that we had one print article in one of the Afrikaans publications. From an online perspective, the articles and podcasts featured online came from the interviews and other sources. Next, let's look at this clip from ENCA to give you a sense.
The Direct Selling Association has raised concerns over dubious and fraudulent money schemes. They are warning people to be cautious of companies promising quick money. With the consistent rising cost of living and high unemployment rate, many people struggle to survive, making them more vulnerable to fraud to make a living. People are urged not to resort to get-rich-quick schemes that promise high returns, leaving no thought for long-term, stable and safer income solutions.
So the results were phenomenal, folks. Within a few hours of each interview, we saw a significant increase in visitors or traffic to our website. And the increase in visitors was actually seen even a day after the interview. Let's look at the Rise FM interview as an example. On the day after the interview, there was a 164% increase in traffic or visitors to the DSA's website. A day later, that number grew to 222%. Folks, I speak about the market never being closer, and these results are indicative of that. From a social media standpoint, and during this period, the aim was to grow the pages amongst the right target audience, boost the DSA's profile, and not only to get the attention of direct sellers, but to punt the DSA and its members as an income opportunity. The content consisted of tips and educational posts for consumers and direct sellers to establish DSA as the authoritative voice, promote direct selling as an income opportunity and solution, drive awareness of DSA member companies, drive legitimacy of DSA and its member companies, relatable content such as testimonials from direct sellers and students, current trending, stats, latest schemes, and let's not forget the DSA of Nigeria launch. So for these items and more, please visit our social media pages. The handles are up on the screen. None of the work of the DSA would be possible if it were not for the DSA's board. Up on your screen, I introduce you to your board of directors. These are all highly experienced and skilled individuals holding senior and executive positions at their respective companies. And yet, on top of their very demanding schedules, they give off their time and expertise and serve our industry selflessly. And remember, none of them get paid by the DSA for their efforts and responsibility. They do so because they are passionate about our industry, and most importantly, you, the direct sellers. So as your chairperson, and on behalf of the entire industry, I extend my thanks and appreciation to our directors for their ongoing commitment and dedication to the DSA. I also like to say thanks to everyone else for their direct or indirect contributions, because without you, it would not be possible. As I close off, to our member companies and to all our direct sellers, you are why this board and the DSA exists. This association has never been positioned for growth like we are now, and I'm reminded of a quote by John Maxwell. Success is knowing your purpose in life, growing to reach your maximum potential, and sowing seeds that benefit others. Let's bounce forward. Wishing you much success. I thank you.